Hello, and a very warm welcome to the English Story Nook. We are so glad you could join us for another story. Today, we're diving into a story about how a small, unexpected discovery can reveal a world of secrets. Get ready to discover a tale of mysterious love, hidden truths, and the difficult choices we make for the people we care about. Before we dive in, if you enjoy our stories and want to support what we do, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and consider buying us a coffee on Ko-fi. There's a link in the description below. Every like, subscription, and small contribution helps us keep creating great content for English learners like you. And now to the story. I found a fang in the sheets. The morning sun sliced through the blinds, striping the rumpled sheets in bars of gold. Aureline Stodolny reached across the empty space beside her, a familiar hollow ache in her chest. Tyoli was gone again. Their time together always felt ephemeral, like a dream that dissolved upon waking. She sighed, pushing herself up. That's when she saw it. Lying on the white cotton was a small, sharp, pearly object. It was smooth and curved, no bigger than her pinky nail. An incongruous discovery among the soft folds of her bed. She picked it up. It was a fang, sharp, elegant, and utterly impossible. Their relationship had been a whirlwind, a passionate affair built on a tacit agreement not to delve too deeply into personal histories. He was a consultant for a firm with a strange, unpronounceable name, often traveling at a moment's notice. She was a graphic designer, her life a predictable rhythm of deadlines and coffee. His world was a mystery she had willingly ignored, content with the powerful resonance she felt whenever he was near. But this fang, this tiny biological fact, shattered their unspoken pact. It was a truth she could no longer pretend not to see. The carefully constructed veneer of normalcy he wore had finally slipped. That evening, when Tyoli arrived, the air was thick with unspoken tension. He smiled, his eyes crinkling in that way that always made her heart leap, but she didn't move to greet him. Instead, she opened her palm, revealing the fang. His smile vanished, the silence stretched, heavy and suffocating. "I'm not from your world, Aureline," he said at last, his voice low. He explained that he was from a parallel realm, a place of ancient laws and rigid hierarchies. His kind were forbidden from forming attachments with mortals. Their love was not just unconventional, it was an act of defiance against his people's oldest traditions. "To be with you is to risk everything," he confessed, his gaze intense. "They see our connection as a contamination." The word hung in the air, ugly and cold. They were standing on a precipice, and she hadn't even known it. The following weeks were a masterclass in subterfuge. They met in secret, their conversations now laced with a desperate urgency. Aureline learned more about his home, a world of perpetual twilight ruled by a council that demanded absolute conformity. His stories made her own mundane existence feel both safe and suffocatingly dull. Yet, the danger was no longer an abstract concept. One afternoon, she saw a man across the street, his face unnaturally still, his eyes fixed on her apartment building. He was there for an hour, a silent, menacing statue. The veneer of their secret life was beginning to unravel. "They're watching us," she told Tyoli that night, her voice trembling. He held her close, but for the first time, his embrace didn't feel like a perfect sanctuary. It felt like the epicenter of a storm. Despite the fear, their bond deepened. The shared danger forged a new kind of intimacy between them. Their love was no longer just a feeling. It was a conscious choice, a daily act of defiance. They knew they were on a dangerous precipice, but the thought of backing down was unbearable. The resonance between their souls was too strong to ignore. The warning, when it came, was brutal. A dead bird lay on her doormat, but it was unlike any bird she had ever seen. Its feathers shimmered with colors that seemed to shift and change, and its beak was twisted into an unnatural shape. It was a message, a clear and terrifying threat. The fragile peace they had maintained through careful subterfuge was shattered. The fight that followed was inevitable, fueled by fear and the crushing weight of their situation. "Maybe this is a mistake," she whispered, the words tasting like poison. The ephemeral joy they had found seemed destined to be crushed. The situation was beginning to unravel in a way that felt irreversible. It was only a few days later that the summons came. It wasn't a letter or a call, but a shimmering symbol that burned itself into the air in her living room. Taoli's face went pale. "I have to go back," he said, his voice devoid of emotion. "It's not a request." He explained that if he refused, they would come for him, and they wouldn't care who got caught in the crossfire. Their unspoken, tacit agreement to protect each other had reached its limit. He had to leave her to keep her safe. He moved to the center of the room, where the air still seemed to hum with residual energy. This was it, the end. But as he began to chant the words that would open the passage, Aureline made a decision. She grabbed her backpack, the one she used for weekend trips, and stuffed her laptop and a change of clothes inside. Her mundane life, with its deadlines and routines, felt like a ghost's existence compared to the vibrant, terrifying reality of loving him. "I'm coming with you," she said, her voice steady. Taol stopped, his eyes wide with disbelief. "You can't. You don't understand what you'd be leaving behind. You could never return." "What I'd be leaving behind is a life without you," she countered, walking towards him. "I found a fang in my sheets, Taol. That feels like a lifetime ago. I'm not that person anymore." She looked at the shimmering space, then back at him. "I choose this. I choose you." A slow smile spread across his face, transforming his features with relief and adoration. He took her hand, his fingers lacing through hers. Together, they stepped into the shimmering portal. The world on the other side was breathtaking and alien, a sky of deep indigo with 2 moons, and trees that glowed with a soft, internal light. The sight of her modern backpack was deeply incongruous against the ancient, magical landscape. Their future was a terrifying unknown, but for the first time, it was theirs to face together. Their love story was no longer a secret to be hidden, but a new chapter waiting to begin. That's the end of our story for today. It was quite a journey of discovery and difficult choices, wasn't it? We would love to know what you think. What is the biggest secret you could imagine discovering about someone? Share your ideas in the comments below. Remember to check the description for helpful resources to continue your practice with this story. Thank you for joining us at the English Story Nook. Keep up your amazing work with your English studies, and we can't wait to see you again for our next story. Happy learning and goodbye for now.